Hey y'all, welcome back to Gingerbeard Aquatics. Oh gosh, my glasses are fogging up. Welcome back to Gingerbeard Aquatics. Today, we have an issue with our settling tank. So, I'm going to take you through what the problem is and what we are trying to do to amend the problem. So, the problem that we have right now is we have tilapia fry in our settling tank, which is then flowing out into our grow beds, which is not very good because we've been noticing that our roots are looking like garbage. They are very, very short. You can see the plants over there. Those are what's supposed to be harvested next week, and they do not look anything like what they're supposed to look like. So I am draining out this settling chamber, and I'm going to be catching out these guys so that once I catch these guys out, this upper reservoir will not drain down into there and put more fish back in there. So we get rid of the fish in the highest point of the system so they can't drain down the lowest system, and then we go from there. And then after that, we're going to seine out these troughs to get rid of all of the 30 or 40 fry that we currently have in there. So my entire system is off. The air is still going in all the tanks, so the fish are fine for a bit. So yeah, I will touch back in with you guys once I've gotten all those little buggards out of the system. After about 10 minutes of dip netting all the fish out, it's done. I'm gonna drain the water that I drained from the sump pump. I'm gonna drain the water that I put into the sump back into this trough, so that way we can get the system going back up again. And then we're gonna move on to seining the entire system, cleaning out all of the raft beds, all the media beds, removing all of the troughs. Oh my gosh, removing all of the rafts from the deep water culture. So that way we can start seining and then move the airline and close off the exits so that none of them can hide in the U shape between the two troughs. So we're gonna go start. I guess I'll show you guys also the fish that we got, how many we got. Here's the bucket with the fish. I'll try to, there's 10 in total. I'll try getting one of the little ones so you can see, or one of the fish, so you can see how large they actually are. If only you can see how hard these guys are to catch, even just in a closed system like this. There we go. So that is a pretty decent sized fish that has been just living in the settling chink of this system. So you can imagine if there's another 15, 20, 30, 40 of these fish in there that are attacking your roots, how bad that's going to be for your plant health and how bad of growth you're going to get from your plants because of that. So we'll put them back in there, and we're going to put these guys in our other system that we won't have the same problem with. Is our IBC system that has a pump, and there's only a flood and drain system, so there's no way the fish get into that system. So we're going to go dump them into there now, and we'll get to the seining. To prevent this from happening in the future, that right there is going to get a mesh screen put over it that will zip tie or maybe glue on top, a drain cover basically, so that the fish will collect only in this guy and they won't ever get out into the trough, where it's a lot harder to capture them. So that's going to be the thing that I'm going to do next after we get those guys caught out of there, because I just need to get those fish caught out because they're just destroying the plants basically. They're just chewing up the roots to no end. I wish I could have shown you guys the roots, but they looked just absolutely terrible yesterday when we were harvesting. So we'll go to seining next, or at least preparing to seine. I need a second person. I can't do that by myself. We ended up getting a lot of the fish out. There's still a couple that I think are inside of this right here. I think there's still a couple inside of there. So I have some nets on the opposite side right there. And hopefully the flow is coming this way, so the nets are getting sucked in so the fish can't get through. And I'm hopeful that that the fish inside the tube will come out, and then we can close off that pipe there and then come back and remove the rest of them. We probably got about probably 35 fry out of there, so there was a lot in there out of these two troughs. I'll show you guys what we used, or what I used, in a second. We ended up using to corral all the fish in were these filter pads right here, and we just did double wide, and we worked our way down the tank like this, just pushing and pushing and pushing them all the way down until they were confined in this last little bit of area. And then from there we were able to scoop them all out and put them in the other system. I had tried using a fish trap, but the fish trap didn't catch anything, so I was hoping that I wouldn't have to do all that work of trying to get them all out. But lo and behold, it didn't catch anything, so we had to get them out. Most of them were probably about 1.5 inches, but some of them were about 4 inches and were holding eggs. So it was a good thing that we got them out, because they were just destroying the root system on the plants. It was absolutely wrecking them. One other thing that we did consider was another passive way to remove the baby tilapia fry. And that was by putting in some predatory fish, or like catfish, or something along the lines that would predate upon the fry. But after talking with some other farmers and their experiences with this, they would not recommend that we put catfish into those troughs to try to predate on those baby fries. So that's why we decided to actually go in there and take all the rafts out, put them out up off the ground, and then actually take nets and just try to see if we see any movement, any silver flashes in the water. So yeah, we tried other passive ways, but the only way that we're probably gonna get them out was through an active way. That's all. That's the last little tidbit. There we go. Hope that helps you guys. Like I said, I added in this pre-screen to try to stop any of the fry from getting in there. I might have to check that more frequently and change out and clean it and whatnot. But that's well worth the hassle of doing that every couple of days, rather than having to take out all these rafts. Especially with a larger system, if you had more rows in this and a longer rows, it'd be a pain in the butt to do this. Yeah, it would be terrible. I was just thinking about that. How if you had 70, 80, 100 foot beds, that would just be terrible. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned for more updates about aquaponics and aquaculture and aquariums and all that good stuff. But for now, Gingerbeard Aquatics signing off.